This is the HLA on Hoops League TV. Tonight, it's the Chicago Blues against the Vancouver Summit. The Season 9 HLA Finals, Game 4. They say no playoff series truly begins until a road team wins a game. If you believe that, the HLA Finals have yet to begin, as Chicago muscled their way to a 75-66 victory in front of their raucous home fans in Game 3. Walter Yensid had the performance Blues fans everywhere and HLA veteran fans were waiting for, putting up 21 points to go with 4 steals, a well-rounded two-way effort to lead his Blues to the victory. Meanwhile, he stifled Jordan Covington and the Vancouver Summit's dynamic offensive attack on the other end, as Covington went for just 12 points on 5 of 17 shooting, and Vancouver never led in the second half. With Game 4 awaiting, the question remains, can Vancouver overcome the Blues' adjustments and win in the Windy City? Or will Chicago carry the momentum from Game 3 into Game 4 and send the series back to the Pacific Northwest tied at 2 apiece? If the Summit can pull it out, it'll be a 3-1 game and a closeout in front of their home fans for Game 5. So again, the same lineups for both Chicago and Vancouver as we begin Game 4 with a look at the two of them. Joshua Owens is the player to highlight on the Vancouver side as they wear their neon attack uniforms. Owens, in the last game out, put up 14 points on 6 of 7 shooting, leading Vancouver, something he rarely did this season. Only twice led them in scoring across the entire year. Despite the fact that Vancouver had 4 players in double digits, Owens being one of them, they lost by 9 to Chicago. We'll be looking for a lot more out of Covington and Kyton, who, after combining for over 30 points in both of the first 2 games of the series, this time only combined for 25. Kyton 13 and 11, a solid double-double, but not enough to get them the victory. And James Murray, it should be noted as well, after his 13-point performance in Game 1, in the last 2 games, held to just 2 points across them both. For Chicago, again, the same lineup as well. Yensid was the big performer in the last one, but Sindor Drago also had a very noteworthy performance. 22 points, 12 assists, and 4 rebounds, plus 4 of 10 from behind the arc. A big bounce-back game for him. Samuel James is the player who one might highlight as needing improvement. No points, no shots last time out, 4 rebounds and a steal. And lastly, noting a player not pictured, Raja Rose, his best game of the series in Game 3, with an 11-point, 3-assist performance off the bench. It's Chicago, it's Vancouver, and it is Game 4 of these Season 9 HLA Finals. Getting started. Here we are underway in Chicago as Sindor Drago wins the tip and faces a triple team. Vancouver putting a lot of emphasis on stopping him. They'll have to stop Yensid as well, but he misses that layup. And Owens collects the rebound. Kyton over to Covington, then back to Kyton. Guarded by Yensid up top, an adjustment that Chicago made after Game 2 as Murray knocks that one down. There is James Murray, mentioned him in the pregame. Just 2 points across the last 2 games. He gets 2 points in the first 30 seconds here. Zulu working on Murray. Floated out to Drago. His 3 from the corner, no. And Murray gets the rebound. James Murray, a former lottery pick of Vancouver. One of the more prolific big man scorers over the last couple of seasons, as Owens able to save that Covington miss. It went back to Covington. Here he is over Zulu. Very tough shot. Zulu has really given the Vancouver offense, not just Covington, but all of them, fits, as Drago will get Chicago on the board with that one. Shaka Zulu, of course, a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. One of the all-time leaders in steals and blocks as Covington got left alone there. A little bit of moving screen action in the motion from the Vancouver big men as that one makes it 5-2 early. There's Yensid with a big response. Spoke to Walter Yensid before the game, and he told us that the three-point shot was still not where he wanted it to be, even though he did perform better from out there last time. As Chitin knifes his way to the bucket for 2 more. 7-5 in the early going. Yensid, a little step-back action, did not go. Inside the line, he tried that one to no avail, and Chitin turns it over. Yensid might have gotten a hand on it, but it's Zulu who comes up with it. In transition, here he is. And the Frenchman deals out to Drago, then to Yensid in the corner. His 3 is short. Covington able to collect it. Chitin at the rim with the bucket, and 4 points and 2 assists from him early. Say Chitin, another guy we spoke to before the game, told us, quote, have to get out quickly. Now we asked him, did that mean the team or him? And he just responded with yes. Never lacking in confidence, as that one turned over by Covington, who faced the double team of Yensid and Zulu. Very tough to get it through that. Here is Zulu at the free throw line, backing down on Murray. Now out to Drago. His 3 is no good. So a bit of a slow start for Chicago offensively. Just 5 points in now 3 minutes of action. And there's some action. Jamison J. Lee. Boy, if they counted the number of dunks in the finals, he would be approaching the all-time record. Absolutely sky high on that one and throughout the series, as Yensid will respond with a slam of his own. No knobbly knees in sight for him. The 36-year-old guard gets up there and punches it through for 2. Chitin turns it over again. Clamps coming out from Chicago. As this outfit playing some mean defense, and there is an old-time connection for 2 more. Yensid looped it into Jaga, and the longtime Blues center flushed that one like a dead bug. There is Chitin, almost lost it again, got it back to Covington, now takes a deep 3, and it's no good. Chicago continues to tighten the screws, but still down 2. Yensid right at the rack, and he got it! Timeout, Vancouver. So, a near platoon swap for both sides. Vancouver brings in the full bench. Meanwhile, for Chicago, it's everyone but Yensid coming off the floor, as the veteran guard has been hot to start this one. That one missed by Romaine Parker, but Marcus Smith, the offensive rebound, and a reverse jam. Mentioned in Game 3 how important he is to Vancouver's offensive glass efforts. And he comes through with 2 more there. Raja Rose into the game for the first time, misses that one. And now Fiedelac at the other end gives to Curry. Tough shot. But Landon Curry able to lay that one up and in. Ren Alex had a good game earlier this series with 7 points and a couple of assists. He gets to the rack. Oh my goodness. Smith rejecting it like an improperly filled DMV application. Way out of bounds. That one. Give Ren Alex the limitless range badge. In HLA 2K right now, he gets another one with his feet parallel to the gold lettering in the logo. That one laid in by Kaneko to quiet down the crowd. About a 9.5-second difference between the shot and the game clock here. As Alex goes into Dingus, and a little push shot swirls around the rim and trickles through for 2. Fiedelac to Kaneko. Kaneko back up top to Fiedelac. Then Curry! Spun around, hung in the air, and landed for 2. This one, Alex, half court, not that time. And so Vancouver exits the first quarter with a 3-point lead. Yensid has 7 for Chicago, but the Summit, 9 of 13 from the floor, would be leading by more were it not for the turnovers. 3 in the first 5 minutes. We'll go right ahead into quarter 2, and this is Aaron Fiedelack getting us going there. Smith backing in on the veteran Tyler Moore. Now Fiedelack again. Oh, good find to Curry, but he couldn't finish. Came off the back rim. Yensid still in the game, rebounds that one. He faces the triple team, goes to Alex. Oh, what a feed! My goodness! Cross-court connection! And that long-distance arrangement punctuated with a Danny Dingus jam. What a series it has been for the former Vancouver Summit forward Danny Dingus, acquired in the offseason on a 3-year deal from the Denver Altitude, and he has proven worth every penny. Coming off the bench and starting in Game 1 in this series for Chicago. That one, offensive rebound by Ren Alex. He's having himself a game, and he lays that one in, and the Blues take the lead. Fiedelack at the other end. Big-time 3 if he gets it. No. Cannot stop the run. Alex. To Yensid. And a bit of a defensive run, it should be said, as Chicago still only up by 1, despite stymieing Vancouver these last few trips down the floor. Yensid missed a little floater there. And Curry will go to the rack with this one. Trying to find the angle. Instead, kicks out to Fiedelack. That 3 is out of bounds. So, Drago, James, and Jaga check in for Chicago. Everybody but Kaneko takes a seat for Vancouver. As James Murray remains on the bench. Drago looking. Oh, got it into Jaga. They were trying to get it to work, and they got it there. And it's a 3-point advantage for the Blues. 3:15 to go here in the second quarter and the first half of Game 4. That one turned over again. 4 turnovers. Now Dingus trampolines his way from the edge of the paint, the semicircle that is, up to the rack for 2 more. He's got 6 in the first half coming off the bench. Owens a 3. No. And Vancouver, like a newbie at a firing range, cannot hit the target. Bit of Stormtrooper Summit syndrome striking them so far. Still only down 5, though. Rose to Zulu, then back to Rose. And now Zulu up top 3. If that had gone, my goodness. Covington, did Zulu get a hand on that? If he didn't, he at least altered the shot. Now Rose in transition. A little how do you do jam. It's Chicago living at the rack. 4 of their last 5 buckets have been of the dunking variety, and they are up 7. A 10-0 run. That one blocked by Zulu. Stifling defense. Rose to the rack. Another jam. And Vancouver needs a timeout. They are getting punked on the interior. Really on both ends of the floor. Kighton, 3-ball. Yes! Big time shot, Zay Kighton. He has been the pick of the bunch so far for Vancouver. Up to 7 points, and he cuts the deficit to 6. Rose, can he respond for a 3? Oh, yeah! Raja Rose. And then back up to 9 it is. 1:50 to go in this second quarter. Chicago with its biggest lead of the game. Kaneko out to Covington. Then Kaneko again. Free throw line jumper, not his shot, and it did not go. Off back iron. Drago the other way. Tries to float it into Zulu. He got it there. And Zulu able to get to the rack. Worked his way through 2 defenders for the 2. Now an 11-point lead for Chicago. Into Covington. There it is. Great find by Kighton and great job by Covington to slip through what has been a steely Chicago defense so far. Rose faces the double. Gets to the rack. Oh my goodness, he missed it. Had a point-blank look and he could not get it to go. That's about the only thing that's gone wrong for Chicago on that end of the floor in the last few minutes. But Owens equals the feat and rolls one off the edge of the rim there. Drago, great block by Kaneko. What a recovery. So Yensid back into the game, as is Ben's Buckets making his debut in this one. And that one by Drago Too easy. No defense at the rim. They took the Matador approach. And with 40 seconds to go in this first half, Chicago looks to be heading to the locker room with a lead. Another missed three there by Vancouver. Drago working on Chitin and James Murray, who's back in the game. Murray now defending Zulu, and he got a piece of that one. Good defense. Got a 12-second difference between the shot and the game clock. It's Lee up top, and he finds Owens. Oh my goodness, what a feed by Lee, and Owens again cannot finish. Big-time struggles from the former #1 overall pick after a great game in Game 3. Has not been able to equal it today. There's Drago inside. Good feed. Yensid found him. Here's Covington at the other end now. Owens working it in, and Owens silences the critics, myself included, with a jam with 1.6 seconds to go. And Drago's full court heave is well off the mark, and it is 37-26 at the break. Chicago, sporting the 11-point advantage, held Vancouver to just 7 in the second quarter. And we will have a brief halftime right around this corner. So once again, Cyclips Incorporated, welcome to the show, the veteran analyst here. Cyclips, let's just get right into it. What a defensive performance from the Chicago Blues in the whole game, but especially in the second quarter. Well, to me, absolutely, I don't want to take away from that, but to me, what I saw in that second quarter was a lot of bad shot selection from Vancouver. Pretty much everybody besides Zay Chitin and Joshua Owens are taking shots that I just don't see how you go into a possession thinking that's the shot you want to take. Aaron Fiedler, a couple of three-pointers. Yeah, they were within his range, but they weren't necessarily comfortable, and there has to be a better shot on that possession, especially given that he's not, necessarily who comes to mind when you say the word Deadeye. He can hit him, but it shouldn't be what you design. Jordan Covington, on the other hand, he absolutely is, and that's why Chicago is sticking to him like a glue trap, and he keeps putting it up over the taller, wider, stronger defender in Shaka Zulu, and you can't be surprised by the result then. And as for Joshua Owens, he's done well to get himself open. But I don't know if it's a bit of a case of the yips after, he was really the only composed one in Game 3 for Vancouver. But he missed a couple of real freebies. Zay Chitin's the only guy that I would give a lot of praise to. Well, but you got to give some praise to this Chicago defense. I mean, they really have been tremendous. But I do think so. I don't want to take away from their performance at all. The ball pressure has been phenomenal since the tip. 4 steals and 4 blocks. You see it in the box score. That tells the story. They have been faster to every shooter, to every driver. They've been in front of every passing lane. They have been everywhere. The only place Vancouver's got an edge on them is on the glass, which is honestly surprising. I'm a little shocked to see that, especially given that I suppose it's because Chicago has just taken more shots. You have 16 missed shots compared to Vancouver's 15, but that's not that big of a discrepancy. So especially considering how poor Vancouver shot in that second quarter, it's really interesting to see them be that close on the glass. But no doubt, I don't want to take away from the Blues at all. They have played very well defensively. You do get the feeling, though, maybe to temper your praise of the Blues a bit, because you are right to point out that Vancouver has played well below their standard, that Chicago is not exactly playing their best basketball offensively either. Well, they got into a bit of a rhythm there for a stretch of the second quarter. But especially in the first quarter, you're right, they did look disjointed. They were kind of pushing it. I don't know exactly what was the issue for Drago, compared to last game. In this game, he just has not been able to solve the defensive looks that Vancouver's been throwing at him. But they've done a really good job moving the ball. The 10 assists is the part that I would be most happy about if I were Mehdi Aziz in the huddle for Chicago. Ball movement has been really effective for them today. Everybody is looking for the best shot on a given possession. It's just sometimes they are not going in. Two of 12 for Vancouver from 3-point range. Not all of those have been good shots. Most of the threes, besides the full court heaves, have really been good threes, and one of the bad ones went in for Ren Alex, who has really done a great job off the bench this whole series. And to close out halftime, I do think we should bring up, before we do head out of here, the Chicago bench. They have really been an X factor in these last couple games. Oh, for sure. Rajon Rosa's 11 points last game were big time, and then the way he's played, and the way Ren Alex has played, and the way Danny Dingus has played off the bench in this game, they are the reason why Chicago won that second quarter by that much, and why they're winning this game. So as we head towards the third quarter, can Vancouver turn it around? You think if they come out of the half, maybe with a reformed game plan? I think so, but this is where you do see those young teams start to struggle. When you're not in front of your home crowd and you have to dig yourself out of a deficit, I think the message that needs to be sent in this halftime break for them, it has to be very loud and very clear. And, for me, if I'm Gerard Dickerson, the first thing I'm saying to them is go out there and play like it's 0-0. Just play your brand of basketball, because we saw how effective it was in games 1 and 2. And in game 3, they got thrown off their rhythm a little bit, but also Chicago played better basketball. In this game, this is really the first time I feel like we've seen Vancouver look disjointed to a point where they're taking bad shots. Covington, last game, he missed a lot of good shots. Today, it's been almost entirely bad shots they've been missing. So you got to get back to playing Vancouver Summit basketball. If you are able to do that, I think you can win. I don't know if they can do that, though. We will have to see what the second half brings us. 37-26 at the break. Chicago on top of Vancouver. Second half underway shortly. So here we go with the second half of basketball, rolling along. As Kighton fed that one out, it was missed again. Vancouver having a hard time taking the lid off the basket, and Yensid underneath. Drago found him there, couldn't get it to go. Good recovery on the interior by the Summit. Lee, mostly quiet in that first half, able to get a little hook shot to go. And the surprise in my voice you can hear is that he didn't take that one up with two hands, but Yensid will take it up with one at the other end. Walter Yensid turning back the clock repeatedly these last two games. He's up to 9 points now. Plus 2 critical steals. Kighton, oh my goodness, he is so fast. And he just puts Jaga C on ice there with a racing layup for 2. Drago 3-ball, no. Kighton rebounds. Say Kighton, guarded by Yensid. Now Covington double team. Back out. It goes around the horn to Murray, and then Covington got himself free. And there it is. A good shot for Jordan Covington in his first bucket in over 5 minutes of game time. 39-32. As Drago, he got pushed a little bit by his own man there. Jaga got up on him. Oh, there's Covington all alone. Cherry picks a 3 from the top corner, and just like that, it's a 4-point game. Jordan Covington found his way behind the defense in transition. And a great find on the pass produces 3 quick points. Yensid step back. That is 3. It is short, and it is Kighton rebounding. And Kighton, oh, he threw it away. But Zulu could not keep himself in bounds in recovering the errant pass. And so a double turnover situation means it goes right back to Vancouver. And there is Murray cutting it to 2 just like that. In the blink of an eye, this game has become a one-possession game. Yensid 3-ball. That's good. And Chicago gets their first bucket from downtown. Yensid with of the half as Yensid with 5 to open it. Titan, 3 ball, no. Rebound, Zulu. Drago. Double teamed up top, able to get it over to Zulu. He's got a bit of space to work on James Murray! And he takes that space and a whole bunch more. Got on the SpaceX booster there and soared up for a bucket. 44-37 with 2:35 to go in the third. That one tipped by Yensid. Kitan got it back and it went in and out. And Zulu rebounds it. Drago doubled again. And gets a little bit of breathing room. Kicks to the corner. Yensid a 3 ball. That's good! Walter Yensid has found the range. And he is up to 15 points on the day. As Chicago, seemingly having weathered the Vancouver storm out of the break, back up by double digits. Covington, step back 3. No. James on the rebound. Samuel James, once again, very quiet in this series and in this game. He'll try a 3. It's no good. Kitan again on the glass. Kitan, screen here by Lee, doesn't use it, takes a step back 3, and it's no good. But Owens on the offensive glass. Another offensive rebound for Vancouver, and Kitan again misses, but again, it's Owens saving that one. Got it to Lee. Here is Covington into Owens. What a feed by Jordan Covington. And Chicago calls timeout. 2 offensive rebounds on 1 possession. A bit of a back-breaking turn for the Blues. That one missed by Drago. Jaga tried to get it out to Yensid, but a bit of miscommunication, and it ends up going the other way. And there's Lee telling Danny Dingus to take a seat and watch the jam. Another space jam there as Lee took advantage of some open room downstairs and went upstairs for 2. Drago, oh, turnover. Miscommunication, was looking for Dingus, but overthrew him as he cut one way. And the ball went another. And Dingus with a big-time block on Kitan. So now Murray stays on the floor as the ball goes out of bounds. Vancouver brings up subs for everyone but him. And Smith had that one. Oh, my goodness. Had that one tipped by Tyler Moore, but it still went through. Now it is back to a 4-point game as that's 3 consecutive buckets for Vancouver. Red Alex, deep 3. That time, no good. Must have left his 4-leaf clover in the locker room. There is Murray. Shook off Danny Dingus like a bad habit and turned that into 2, and now it's a 2-point game. Yensid, another 3. Can he bail him out again? He cannot. Romaine Parker grabs the rebound. Chicago might have just given up the lead depending on what Vancouver does on this possession. About a 9-second difference between the shot and the game clock. It is Smith, and it is a tie game! Shot clock off as we wind towards the end of the third quarter. Red Alex looking, trying to find room. Hook shot, short. And so that is that. 21-10. Vancouver outscores Chicago with a much improved effort offensively. And the Blues are the ones looking lifeless. 47 apiece as we get started in the fourth quarter. Red Alex kicks it into Tyler Moore, and Moore will get it started with a jam. That'll soothe this anxious crowd a little bit. And it puts an end to a 10-0 run by Vancouver. Fiedlak into Parker. Parker floated up, and off the front of the rim, it hopped out. A bad bounce. A lot of those in the first half for the Summit. Haven't seen too many in the second. Speaking of haven't seen too many in the second, it's Raja Rose. Remarkably quiet so far. Dingus, a step-back 3. And Chicago, fortunately enough for them, gets the offensive rebound. This Alex kicks out to Rose. That's missed, and Smith, doing his job, collects it for Vancouver. On the glass, Fiedlak, great job using his body to work around Tyler Moore. He gets his first points of this one to tie it at 49. 4 minutes to go in game 4. Tipped there by Felix, but it ended up with Yensid, and he missed it off the front rim. Tough contested shot. He wanted a foul. He won't get one. Curry, 3-ball. No. Alex, another rebound for Chicago. Oh, very close to a backcourt there. But able to keep his feet over the line, and here's Rose on a step back. No good, as Chicago has been abandoned by the long-range shot. 5 of 22 they are from out there today. Vancouver calls timeout and brings back in the starting unit, and there's Murray giving the Summit the first lead of the second half. James Murray with 8 points, a big bounce-back game for him. This is Rose. It's a 3, and it's now 5 of 23 from downtown for Chicago. Inside to Covington! Put it on a poster! The Game 4 finisher from Jordan Covington. Only 12 points, but a big exclamation point with that jam. And it's a 4-point lead in Game 4 for the visiting Summit. Rose, deep 2. No. Rebound. No. They say it went out of bounds before Zulu could get his hands on it. And so the Summit will go the other way. Kighton into Covington! Flexes the muscles with another jam. Got behind the defense and made it look easy. Up to a 6-point lead. This is an 18-2 run by the Vancouver Summit, dating back to the midway part of the third quarter. Rose, a step back 3. It's no good. Murray. Now Lee. Now Covington. Inside, shot clock winding down. Murray, 3-ball. Yes! James Murray! Stepping up big time! He's into double digits, 11 points now as he hits that one from downtown, and it's a 9-point lead, a 21-2 run by the Summit. Make it 21-4 as Drago gets Chicago's first bucket in over 3 minutes. Covington. Tipped and stolen. Timeout Blues. And in addition to their defense fading away, that's Chicago's first stock, that is steal or block, since the third quarter. Early third quarter, as a matter of fact. Here is Drago passing it around. Drago trying to get it in. He got it into James, and James able to get that one to go. And it's back to 5. Oh, but Covington wide open in transition, and it's shooting practice for one of the best shooters in the league. Jordan Covington playing smart, not hard. Once again, cherry picks from the corner this time, and it's back up to 8. Pardon. Drago. Can he respond? Yes, he can! Big time shot by Senor Drago, and it's back to 5. His first made 3. He's 0 for 7 prior to that shot. Now 1 for 8. Covington, double team. Kighton tried to get it to Lee, but it clangs off the front rim, and James is taking it the other way. Samuel James, transition 3. No! Oh, a momentum deflating miss from Samuel James. Who has really struggled in this series. That one missed on the defensive assignment. There, Zulu couldn't get out to Covington fast enough, and he's got another one. What a second half for Jordan Covington. Drago again misses. Under a minute to go. It's a 7-point lead. Covington again left alone in the backcourt. And he's up to 21 points. Phenomenal basketball IQ and court awareness. 9-point lead. Drago can't get the 3. This building is stunned. The Vancouver Summit have just run all over the Chicago Blues in the second half. A frenetic and cerebral game. As now Covington lays that one in. And the clock winds down on Game 4 and perhaps on the Blues season. Vancouver will win this game as Covington misses the vanity 3. And they will take a 3-1 lead back with them What an unbelievable turn of events. Chicago, after dominating for much of the first half, taking an 11-point lead into the half as Drago hits a huge three to cut it to 8 with just 3.4 seconds to go. Chicago, there's no other way to say it. They choke up an 11-point advantage, and the Vancouver Summit. The Vancouver Summit are one win away from winning it all in Season 9. 7 of 30 the Blues go from downtown. Drago himself, 2 of 11. And the Blues faithful are shocked into silence as they file out of this one. What a performance from Vancouver in the second half. And they will take a ton of momentum with them back to the Pacific Northwest in Game 5. We'll have that one for you later this week on Hoops League TV. You've been watching Game 4 of the Season 9 HLA Finals. I'm Cyclops Inc. Have a great rest of your night.